Welcome to the KEbnY video show, the place and platform for indie creatives. I'm your host, Kenny Moore. This is a date night music episode. We're going to be talking about that music you listen to when you're with that special someone. My guest has an EP out, but before we start the show, would you do two things for me? First, go like and subscribe to the Minds of Creativity Facebook page and YouTube channel so you can check out the rest of the content and get alerts when new shows are available. Second, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Coach_ANYKENY on TikTok, X, and Instagram so you can check out other episodes of the show and keep up with the rest of the stuff that I'm doing. All right, my guest is ready and I'm ready, so let's start the show. Before my guest comes on to talk about his new EP, let's check out a clip. Here's Sam Watson's Just Listen on the KEbnY video show.
Just listen, don't block me out, hear me out. Just listen, yeah. It doesn't have to be this way. There's just so much to say. You always keeping your guard up. Saving your space. You feel like I'm always against you. It's just you by yourself and your scars. Life hasn't been fair. I know that you're scared, but no, I'm here for you and everything I do. Yeah. We've been here before, trying to hold on. You've been toxic all night. This shit here not feeling right. Gonna tell I'm done with this fight.
Now joining me is Sam Watson. He's a singer-songwriter and producer from the Detroit area. He's a veteran indie artist that has released multiple projects. His latest EP, Just Listen, is now streaming everywhere. We just saw a clip of him performing the title track, so let's bring him on to talk about it. Sam, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on. How you doing?
Yo, how you doing, man? I'm good. How are you?
Good. Man, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, man. I was like, I can see part of your face right here. Is that part of the whole thing?
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. There we go. All right. So listen, every time I have someone on with me for the first time, I always start the interview off with this question.
Right.
The question is this. Tell me your earliest memory or the moment you fell in love with music.
Earliest memory. Let's see. That's tough. Okay. This might be one. This might be the initial moment. I believe. So my family is very music oriented, like any family is. You listen, you find out what your parents listen to. Your dad listens to certain music. Your mom listens to certain music. If anything, they listen to the same music.
Sure.
But what really made me really tap into music and fall in love with it initially was Stevie Wonder's song, Sir Duke. For some reason, when it comes to certain melodies and certain things like just that are catchy to me, just stick with me. And Sir Duke, hearing Sir Duke as a kid, I rarely heard it, but when I heard it, I liked it a lot. So I think that was like the start of me really liking and falling in love with the music.
Gotcha. Do you remember how old you are?
No, I actually don't. I had to be elementary. This had to be elementary, probably second grade and going
Gotcha.
up. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, man, you play a lot of instruments. You play 9 instruments and sing. So tell me what you enjoy the most from playing and then from singing.
Singing was the first instrument, obviously, that came to me, and I learned how to really hone in. But my personal number one instrument is the piano. That's my if it wasn't singing, it would be piano.
Okay.
First. My dad plays piano. He played in the church.
Okay.
So it was just bound to happen for me to just really want to go in there and try to learn how to play piano like my pops. So I learned on my own, and then my dad taught me the basics of it all. And then from there, that's when I started diving into band class in middle school. And then that just continued on to explore more possible avenues of where I could go As far as learning instruments, I wanted to be a brass and a woodwind player, but I ended up being a woodwind player over ultimately. So yeah, just really wanted to be curious on what I could do and what my limits were and what my limits could not be. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, it started in school, and then you just continued on and just kept exploring and kept on adding to your
It's
knowledge base.
it really started outside of it started outside of school because we had a keyboard at home. My dad would just
Okay,
rehearse.
right, right. That's right.
Yep.
What you said. Yes.
My dad would rehearse with a keyboard in there, and I would play that all the time. And then in school, and that's when school helped me jump into a whole bunch of other instruments.
All right. So you're in a music hotbed in terms of Detroit. So I'm about
Music
to
out
ask
there.
you a really tough question. Just giving
Okay.
you
All
a
right.
disclaimer.
Okay.
I need you to give me your top five Detroit singers.
Top five Detroit singers. Me, um,
I like it.
Miss Christiana.
Okay.
I'm gonna do local and then
Okay. I
first.
like it. Let's
So
go.
local. Me, Miss Christiana, Drea Scott, Jody. My goodness, Jesus. Jazz. I have so many more I want to name, but you said five, so I'm gonna stick with five. So those are my top five. Um, as far as professional, that's even tougher, but I'm gonna have to go with Tank for number one, Stevie Wonder, number two. Uh
Is
I
Tank considered Detroit though?
oh my bad. You did say Detroit. You know what? Let's go Motown. Let's just go straight up Motown.
Okay.
All Temptations, all five.
I said it was a tough question, so I get it. But let's since we there, give me your since you touched on Tank, give me your top five R&B singers in terms of mainstream.
R&B singers mainstream.
You gave me your
Usher,
indie, give me your mainstream.
Tank, Usher. What is his face? My boy LA. His name is spelled ELHAE. Number four would be I would have to give it to Stevie because Stevie what I
I was
like
about to say, if you fell in love starting with CV and then put it in your
and
list,
I
that's
didn't put
almost
Stevie in there.
blasphemy.
That'd be messed up. And then it's like I grew up with all Motown, so it's like listening to all Motown. I'm sorry, and so it's really hard to really pick all. But if I had to pick five and just
No, I
really,
said it's a tough question.
if I had to pick five, yeah, okay, five. Give me five. I would
So
say
you
Chris Brown. I'll say Chris Brown.
okay. So Tank, ELA,
L.A. Yeah, L.A.
LA, spelled
Mm-hmm.
differently. I got to
Mm-hmm.
get on to him because you just
Oh,
put me on to
oh yeah,
somebody.
oh yeah. You would like him a lot.
Okay. So Tank,
L.A.
LA,
Stevie,
Usher,
Usher, yeah,
Stevie, and Chris Brown.
and
Okay.
Chris Brown. Yeah,
That's a good list. That's a strong
it's a
list.
good list, but I could have kept going, bro.
Oh no, for sure.
I could have kept going.
That's what makes it. That's what makes the doing that fun is that you got to cut it off.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick break, and on the
Mm.
other side of the break, we're gonna talk and get into the EP. Just listen.
Yes, sir.
Stay with us. Be right back.
Yes, sir.
Thing on? Can you see me out there? All right, bet. Hey everyone, Day here, CEO of Day's Palette, and I am beyond thrilled to share some exciting news with you all about the next chapter for Day's Palette. What began as a makeup artistry has grown into something much deeper, a reflection of God-given purpose. When I sat and really thought about the deeper meaning behind Day's Palette, I saw it as my palette, and each color on my palette represents all the many talents that God has blessed me with. While a major part of my palette is still enhancing the beauty that already exists through makeup and hair artistry, this is an extension of that mission. But it's not just for me. We all have a palette of gifts designed to glorify Him. So for my current and future clients, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You can breathe. Today, I am excited to announce the launch of Day's Palette apparel and accessories. This extension is more than just fashion, it's a message. Each piece is created to encourage you to reflect on your own gifts, your palette, and how you can use them to help strengthen God's kingdom. It's time to embrace our God-given gifts and bring color, light, and purpose to the world. Thank you in advance for all of your support. Stay tuned for daily updates, and I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store on this new journey at Days Palette.
All right, the online store is now open. So if you use code AKVS7, that's AKVS7, you will save 5% off your order. Go to Days Palette LLC, that's spelled DAIS, palette LLC.printify.me to get your Days Palette apparel and accessory. All right, we're back with Sam Watson. And Sam, we checked out a clip of the title track of the EP, Just Listen. And
Yes.
so, yeah, so you fall in the category of what I like to call clever songwriters.
Clever songwriting. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Yeah, because you tell stories with
Hmm.
your songs, and to tell stories with is a clever trait in my opinion. So
Mm.
give me the inspiration behind Just Listen and tell me about how it came together creatively.
Originally, I just had released my previous project called Dark Rose, and I was basically coming to the end of pushing that project and trying to figure out what I can do for my next project. And I was working on, but while I was working on Dark Rose, I worked on two projects at the same time. It was supposed to
Oh
be,
wow.
yeah, and while working on it, I realized I was overloading myself, so I decided to just work on just Dark Rose and then figure out what this next project was going to be. So when I started working on Just Listen, it was really hard to really pinpoint a name for it because I didn't have a name for the project, nor did I have any of the songs that were on that are on the EP made yet. There were some ideas of where I wanted to go, but it was a battle. It was a battle. It was a back and forth thing for me. It was originally supposed to be an album. We had at least 15, 17 songs ready to go on it. And I realized once I really listened to everything and thought about the concept of what I was trying to go for, I realized that a lot of the songs were good, but they didn't fit the narrative
Gotcha.
I was going for. So I ended up cutting a lot of those songs, which ended up being those seven. The name, how I got the name when I made Listen, that's how I got the name. Literally, I was just listening to the song. I was like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna call it. It just came to me in plain sight. That's it. Just listen. That's all I need y'all to do. The meaning behind it is really two things. One, just listen. Literally just listen to the project. And then number two, really just listen really applies to everything in life. Just
Interesting.
listening in relationships, it doesn't matter what type of relationship it is, a business, intimate relationships, personal relationships, whatever the case may be, just listen. Basically, in other words, look out, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention, learn, make mistakes, live your life. So it was a lot that pertained to relationships specifically with this EP
For
though.
sure.
So
Definitely got that thing.
so it was like, how do I tackle that when it comes to relationships? How do I make it sound a little bit different from what everybody else is saying? Because there's so many ways to say I love you, right? And you could say that 10 million different times, right? In many ways, and that's amazing. So how can I say I love you 10 million and one times? You know, how can I be that 10 millionth and one person to say it a different way? And it was like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? So it was difficult, but throughout that process, I was happy for how everything turned out.
Yeah.
So I didn't do this by myself either. So
Oh, we're
I'm not.
gonna get into that. That's actually my next question because you have some really dope features
Yes.
on the EP. So
Mhm.
tell me how those came together on the production side with the features, and then shout out your collaborators.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who was a part of that project. Shout out to all the features first and foremost. My girl Drea Scott, my boy Jazz, my girl REB, my guy Mavi. To the people who helped do a lot of background vocals for me. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to dang, she would have been my top 5. I completely forgot about her. Shout out to Nico. Nico, shout out to K Huff, shout out to my boy LT. I feel like I'm missing one more person. And Jay Santino. All these people came together and helped me put this project together. But shout out to, as far as production, shout out to Brooklyn and my boy PJ, who's out in Atlanta. He goes by Bobsled Jimmy, out of Atlanta. All three of us made this project together. I would usually come up with the idea and produce the melodic stuff. Brooklyn is the guy I would go to. Was like, yo, I need some type of beat pattern, and I know you can get it quickly. And he's very quick with his work. So I could do it myself, but I at least want to, get somebody else's hand in there to,
Yeah, that's
flavor.
my sauce. Yes.
Yes, and then my boy PJ, same thing. He's always in the studio. That's always a given because he works out of a studio, and he just so happened to play some chords, making a beat. And I'm like, dog, bro, I like that. I really like that, and like send those chords to me, and we can piggyback off each other. And we did it just like this, online, over the phone, or whatever we was doing, and we just kept piggybacking off each other. Like, okay, let's add this, let's add that. I like this, I like that. And that's how really every production session went. It was just like, as soon as I had an idea, hey bro, I'm about to sing you this melodic stuff, let's do this over the phone and let's do it just like that. And that's how every song was made. The only 2 songs that I had by myself, if I'm not mistaken, was Listen and Leveled Up.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's actually those. So glad you mentioned Level Up because it's that one and Pick and Choose are
Pick and
two.
choose.
Because we were talking about the relationship thing and how to say, and you see there's a back and forth in Pick and Choose and Level
Mhm.
Up kind of talks about. So talk to me about those songs. Tell me creatively how you the concept behind those 2 songs because they're super clever.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna start with Pick and Choose. Pick and Choose was produced by me and Bob Sled. Um, that project, I didn't think I was gonna go that route, but I was happy I did. But Pick and Choose was just inspired by a situation that I witnessed, and it was so messed up to me, and I just said it out loud, like, you don't get to pick and choose between my friend and this other person, said person that you messing with, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of messed up. So I ended up thinking like, I should make that into a song, like jokingly, but at the same time I was kind of serious. I was like, I should make that into a song. So I ended up doing that. So when I made the beat with Bob, I ended up I once we finished producing the beat, I had started writing to it. And so I had did my verse and I did the hook. I ended up calling Jay Santino, who did the backgrounds on the main hook. Like he
Mhm.
did that. Um, I hit him up randomly. I was like, bro, I would love for you to be part of a project because one, we don't have a project together where I have you on one of my songs. You have me on your stuff, period. But I would love you on the track. He said, yeah, cool. He came through, knocked it out easy, and he went about his day. With Drea, shout out to Drea Scott again. Drea, she already had put out a pop album, a pop EP, and doing very well with it. So this was definitely in her lane. But she was on this song by mistake. I sent her 2 songs.
Really?
Yes, I sent her 2 songs. I found a beat that I had made for her specifically, but I wanted to do one with her. And I sent her both that beat and then the Pick and Choose beat. She automatically thought she was writing to Pick and Choose. So she meant to write the verse for the other beat, but she mistakenly wrote it for Pick and Choose. And she sent me a voice demo of what it sounded like. I'm like, oh, this is the wrong beat. But then I was like, let me go and listen. And then I heard it. I was like, oh no, you are on this project. You made a mistake. You coming to the studio and you recording that verse right now. And so she came through and knocked it out. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun creating it. And Drea just gave it so much life. Like she's used to that. That is her bag. Me, I don't tap into this bag as much, but I love doing music like that when I do tap into that type of stuff. So it just felt good. I wanted to give a Drake Take Care, the little song Take Care vibe. And what's crazy is, fun fact, and this is really just you that knows this. And besides my boy Jazz, who helped me engineer this project, there's a sound that I took from the actual song Take Care. It was a drum. It was like dudum.
Interesting.
It was like dudum. And it's in there. If you listen to Take
Interesting.
Care
I
and
gotta listen back to it again.
yeah, just look for Take Care, and there's a little space before the transition of it, like dudum, and then it's in my it's on my song too. So it's not hard to miss if you know what I'm talking about.
Dope. That is dope. So, uh, well, kudos to everybody.
Hmm.
Uh, the project, and now I understand after you saying what you said about the theme and the direction, I could
Yeah,
see why you had uh, to the songs all flow together, and you could see the theme within each song. So
yeah,
I can
yeah.
see why you did what you did. So
Had to
here's the
make
other
sense.
question: does that mean that those projects that or the ones that got scrapped that didn't make this EP, are they going to be on deck for your next project to come?
I thought about that after I had finished the EP. I had asked myself that question, and listening to a lot of those songs, I actually said no because most of the songs that were going to be on that project originally were not mine. They had been written by somebody else who I was working with at the time, and we had a whole different agenda at the
Okay,
time. At some point, he had to take a hiatus. He had to take a break and handle some personal stuff. This partner of mine, and I had to fall back on a different plan, which is where the idea of Just Listen should be becoming
gotcha.
EP type vibe. So a lot of those songs would probably go back somewhere else to my
To the
man's and
ball.
go back to my man's, and he's gonna like push them and do whatever he wants to do with them because they're his songs ultimately. The ones that I did that was originally supposed to be on the song, I wanted to give away, and I actually did recently give away one of those songs to a friend
Okay,
of mine who's helped me write two of the songs. I meant to talk about Leveled Up too. I know I was on Pick and Choose a lot, but yeah, really, yeah. I just want to give away those songs to people who would have more who's more active than I am with these songs. And most of the songs that I wrote, those are like typical Sam Watson songs. Like, oh, I expect to hear this from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's different to give it to somebody else who really don't tap into the same bag as I do. So I'm happy to do that. So when I make a new project, I'm gonna start fresh.
okay. And then I think giving it away to somebody else, they can also add their ideas to it and take it to a different place that you may not have. Uh,
Hmm.
so that's the beauty of creativity.
Yeah. There's a song I made called Comfort Zone that was gonna be on the EP. And that was one of the songs where I showed it to a couple people that I trust and I know for sure they got a good ear and what they're looking, and they're artists too. So they're not only looking from an artist perspective, but also as a consumer, fan. So, and they told me, I was like, bro, I like this song, but this is what I expect from you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've heard this from you plenty of times on other numerous projects. This sounds like one of these songs. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that, and I agree. So it's all about just really trying to figure out where I want to be, how I want to be, and that was a struggle for a while. But at least I found my bag at some point.
So, here's my one more question, and then we'll get you out of here.
Okay.
We talked backstage that you do engineering as well.
Hmm.
So how do you find the balance between being an artist
Mm.
and creating for yourself, and then being an engineer and bringing projects to the finish line for other people?
Just organization, and the commitment to commit to that. Your scheduling. Without organization, it definitely can be all over the place. I'm an artist first, and like I said backstage, I'm an artist first. I just so happen to know how to do all these other things. Um, but a lot of people didn't meet me as an artist first. A lot of people met me as Sam, the engineer. You know what I'm saying? First. So once I found a way to balance everything together, that's when I was like, okay, now we can make this work. Now we can make this right. Now we can go do what we need to do and ride this wave out the way we need to. It's all about just finding that control and balancing all those things. Can it be overwhelming? Absolutely. But given that it's in the same realm, literally the same world, it's
It
like
is.
you have so much control in that world and you don't realize it, right? Like I'm an engineer, but I'm also a songwriter. Like I work with artists that might need that, but I can also engineer your stuff at the same time. Like it has a way of just combining together like a puzzle and just coming together just right. So it has its moments where it works out and the flow is just smooth. And then it has its moments where it can be a little rough, but not to the point where it makes you want to give up. I haven't been at that point. But yeah, that's how I manage everything, just organizing everything, just scheduling, make time for family, make time for friends when I can, you know what I'm saying? Um, I'm not opposed to just doing this for the rest of my life, which I have been doing, if I'm being honest.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Because I think in everything, balance and or balance, organizing, and being organized are the key.
Hmm.
Because if you're not, then like you said, you're all over the place. And then if you don't have balance, then you're neglecting the other areas of your life, which
Yeah.
will lead to other problems.
Yes, which sometimes you might need a reminder because you might not even know that you are neglecting some things. It's not to say that you're doing it on purpose, but you're just not aware of it or you don't see it as neglect. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
just
because you get caught up in creativity because you get into creativity and get into creating. It's a whole world into itself, and it draws you into a place where you lose perspective of the other things that's going on around you. So if you don't have those people that are telling you, you're like, dude, can you take a break? We need some time. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It's like I feel like you work. I feel like you're writing for a lot of artists and not for yourself much. Like, why don't you do that? I've gotten texts like that. It's like, hey, bro, man, you've been writing for a whole bunch of people, and that's hard. But like, what you got for yourself? I was like, you know what? That's crazy. I've been writing so much, but I ain't got nothing for me. Maybe I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just it could be a slight nudge right there. Yeah.
100%. And it's great to have people in your corner that want to hear from you.
Yes. Yeah,
Uh,
it's good to hear. It's good to feel and see that from a lot of people because for me personally as an engineer, like I said, I'm mostly known for that. And then second, my artistry or it's flipped. It's like, oh, he's an artist, but he knows how to engineer. It's like I feel like I'm more caught up in the engineer world and then trying to remind everybody, hey, by the way, I'm an artist. Um, to be acknowledged in the sense of like, hey man, your music is dope, or I still listen to, you know what I'm saying? That's just enough for me to say, that's enough for me to say, keep going. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
And all it takes is one, and then you can multiply that.
absolutely. And I'm new to and transparently, I'm new to your music, and I'm telling you, like you got it. Like you
Yeah,
have you have
no
the
pun intended. No pun intended.
no, for sure. Nah, no pun intended, for sure. But that's real talk, man, because that's why I bring people on this show is that people, that's what I call the show, the place, a platform for indie creators, because I want to see indie creatives and people that are putting out good music have a platform and an opportunity for them to be able to promote their work, to talk about their work, and for other people to get behind their work. And you got good music, so
Thank you,
please
man.
keep it going, and because we need more people like you.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna continue to, just shine a light not only on myself but to people that I work with. Like all these
Absolutely,
all the locals that, I'm not even gonna say they're local. They're just good artists. All the artists that I work with, all the friends that I know are great. All the people I named in, top five and all this stuff.
for
Like
sure.
these are people that are dope and and they deserve just as much as they deserve just as much as a spotlight as I do. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
talent, like just not to sidetrack, but just like talent now doesn't really matter to major things, major labels, small labels. What it doesn't even matter. It's just talent just don't matter unless somebody's really out there saying, "Hey, yo, just." check this out, check this person out. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's harder for a good talented artist, rapper, singer, melodic rapper, doesn't matter. It's hard for a talented person to get a wheel going behind them more so than people that might not be in that world of just focusing on talent. You know what I'm saying? It's more about numbers now.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. Now you're speaking facts because nine times out of ten, one of the first questions they're going to ask is, "What's your social media following?" Before they
Yeah,
even
well,
listen to
like
your
how many
music.
Spotify
Right.
listeners do you have? You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Right. That's going to be all of those are going to be the precursors before they even try to take a look at and listen to your artistry and listen to what you have,
Right.
which it's the way of the world today. So
Yeah, I had like my friend, like I said, my friend out of Atlanta. He works for a major label, and that's why he's in the studio every day. He's just recording and producing artists that from that label and outside of that. And I just asked him like, what's the process? Because I just want to know, even though I know, I just want to make sure that it's true. You know what I'm saying? And he said, first thing that they can listen to your music. The first thing they're gonna ask is how many listeners you got on Spotify. That's there. I was like, yep, that's enough for me. They care about the numbers more so than the talent. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to risk investing into an artist that might make you millions and millions and millions. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. There's no gatekeeping no more. It's so much access to that. And not to say that's a bad thing, but we just don't have control of all over that. You know what I'm saying?
because of I was the other day I was on got an opportunity to be on intellectually petty.
Yeah,
Uh,
my dog,
yeah, yeah,
my guy.
yeah, man. We were talking about that, and I was telling them that because it's so easy to release music now, there's
Hmm.
no gatekeepers because you could put your music out yourself. There's nobody
Yeah.
stopping anybody. That's why you got a million and one artists out here now.
Yes, it's
So
easy. It's easy to do that on your own, which is great. It's like it's great to build your own machine. It's just a question of are you willing to, put in that work to build that machine into a foundation, an empire, if you will. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
and
So
there is a machine,
and
and
it's
you need
tough to
that.
do that. It's like you gotta learn the business, of course, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you sign or not. You have to really know how to really navigate in the world of music, especially in the city where you in, you know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta know the right DJs, you gotta know the right promoters, the right hosts, make good relationship with people that throw shows and give you opportunities to open up for stuff, even though they might not be the best at putting stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might be a BS moment, but it gets you an opportunity to get on stage for so and so. You know what I'm saying? It's just really trying to navigate that and have a steady mind and a humble mind at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Honing in all those things builds character, and I'm just speaking to all independent artists that are like fresh or still not really seeing the big picture or know about the big or even know if there is a big picture. You know what I'm saying? Just really hone into that world of networking and being open to, you know, asking for help. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. As I always say, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's not what you
And
know, so you know. I think it flips too. It's not who you know, it's what you know too. I feel like
oh yeah, no, there's an other side to it. But relationships are currency. I call relationships currency.
I like that. I like that. Relationship is currency.
Yes, sir.
Cause
So
cause cause that can last forever.
yes, and you have you build the right relationships. To your point, building right relationships with the program directors, with the DJs, with the playlist curators.
Right.
Those are going to be all of the things that are going to help you advance your career and push you to be able to be heard at a higher level because that's what's going to get your streams up and that's what's going to get your name out there. So it's all part of the knowledge base that you got to have.
Yeah. 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 Easier said than done to it
It
for a
is
lot.
no, it's work. It's work.
It's
So
work, but it's worth it at the end if that's what you really want, depending on what your goal is, you know what I'm saying? So
100%.
go for it.
Yes, sir. So, man, listen, let me get you
Yeah.
out of here with this last question. Tell my audience what's
Yes.
next for you. And
What's
then
next
how
for
to
me?
connect to and follow you on social media.
What is next for me, you guys? Well, let me tell you, I am just doing shows, and now that we're on the subject of shows, I do have a show March 23rd. I actually haven't posted it yet on my social media, which is Sam Watson _ official on IG. Um, I am going to post that. I do have a show on the 23rd. I just did my most recent show on February 23rd. I'm doing the Breaking Sound with my girl REB, my guy, Soccer Renegade, my brother. Had a chance to also live engineer that show as well.
Nice.
Just like I said, I do a lot, but as of this month, it's just really building content to push the project, and then this show, of course, to help navigate people to getting aware of my project and me as a person and artist. So, um, more to come in the next few months as well, man. It's just so much that I would love to say, but I can't because it's still in the works, and I want to make sure that
Fair enough.
God is providing his hand on everything that I'm doing, and everybody that's around me.
No, as long as once his hand is on it, then there's nowhere to go but blessings and for you to
Yeah.
be up.
Yes,
All right, so
sir.
Sam, man, listen, appreciate a few minutes of your time. All the best with the EP and everything that you got going and everything
Thank
that
you.
you got coming. Your home
Thank
has
you.
some music on any key video show.
Oh man. Say that one more time. You went out right there.
Oh, I said your music has a home on any key video show.
Oh man,
Anytime you
appreciate
want
it.
to come on and promote anything that you got going on, you have an open door.
I appreciate it. And I thank you for having me on here. Shout out to Rita for getting us all
Yes,
connected
sir.
here, man. Without Rita, I get really just without Rita. That's an example right there. Just a relationship right then and there.
100%. And she's
Yeah.
great people.
Yes.
And she's always trying to help people. So shout out to
Yeah.
Rita.
Shout out to
And
Rita. Yeah.
anybody else, any of your, any other independent artists that you know that got
Really.
music coming,
Yeah.
send them our way. We'll get them on and we'll talk to them because I'm always looking for indie artists
I would
to.
do that. I am actually going to do that. I don't know if Rita told you about REB already. I'm pretty sure she did.
I think she did, but yeah, we'll definitely get her out because she's dope.
Get her, and then there's Asaka, the Renegade. That's my dog. That's my brother. That's also Rita's artist. But I have so many people that I'm definitely gonna get you hip to. Like I said, LA, I don't know him personally, but I want to get to know him and work with him. That is something that I'm putting into the atmosphere. I'm going to work with that brother. LA, ELHAE. That's how you spell his name. And there's a project called Trouble in Paradise. That's my ultimate favorite project by him.
All right.
I love every other project by him too, but Trouble in Paradise was like the inspiration, or I guess you can say the formula that I studied to make Just Listen.
All right. I just found him on Apple Music, so I'm gonna definitely deep dive into his music.
Yeah,
All right, man,
you'll
Sam.
yes, sir.
Yeah, dope. So listen, man. Thanks again for being on the Any Key Video Show,
Mhm.
and all the best.
All the best to you, man. Thank you, man.
All right, take care.
Peace, peace.
All right. That was Sam Watson, and that's going to be it for this episode of the Any Key Video Show. I want to thank Sam for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, like your brands and services to be advertised and promoted on the show, or if you want your video to be featured on the show, send an email to kanmmusicpub@gmail.com. Again, that's kanmmusicpub@gmail.com. Subscribe to the Minds of Creativity YouTube channel, which is a part of the All Sports All Plays network, so you can check out the rest of the content and so you can get alerts when new episodes are available. You can become a patron on my Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com/ANYKENY to get exclusive access to new content and free show merchandise. Or you can order your merchandise at the online store, kanmcollective.threadless.com. Again, that's kanmcollective.threadless.com. Shout out to all my patrons and people who have ordered merchandise. Really appreciate your support. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at coach_ANYKENY on X, TikTok, and Instagram, and on my Facebook music page, Any Key Music, which is spelled capital ANY, capital KE, lowercase b, lowercase n, and capital Y. So until next time, remember, be positive on purpose.